Can you hear those kids in the hallway? They're trick-or-treating, but they're a week early. I don't have any candy yet. Welcome back, travel fans. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides, and before I go any further, I have to ask you, what do you think of this new setup? I've got a new light and got a different background behind me, and I'm realizing right now that the light is really, really bright. I think I'm gonna have to start wearing makeup, or at least maybe a little bit of powder or something. Let me know. In last week's video, I showed you the final daily vlog of tropical getaway on board the NCL Getaway. And this week we're back at Disney, and I'm gonna show you around the Port Orleans Riverside Resort. We stayed at Port Orleans Riverside back in January of 2015, and there were some things I liked about the resort and some things that didn't really work for me. If you want to see how it all unfolded and everything that happened while we were there, then check out my Orlandoventure series. There's links to all the videos I talk about in the description below. But I'll tell you a little bit about it here and show you all around the resort. Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter are two of the most popular moderate resorts on Disney property. I mean, they're so popular that they even have a fan page. Check it out. As far as location goes, the Port Orleans resorts are closest to Epcot and furthest away from the Magic Kingdom. However, the ride to Magic Kingdom is much quicker than the ride to Animal Kingdom. Interesting observation. It took considerably less time to call an Uber taxi, get in the taxi, and drive from SeaWorld to the entrance of Disney Hollywood Studios than it does to take the Disney transportation from Animal Kingdom to the Port Orleans Riverside Resort. I swear it takes like forever to get to Animal Kingdom from Port Orleans. It feels like you stop at 25 stoplights. But first world problems. Like all moderate resorts, it has a central lobby building with the shop, a sit-down restaurant, a big food court area with a lot of seating, and some interesting theming elements that remind you that you're at a Disney resort. Connected to that building is a gigantic arcade and the main bus stop. And speaking of bus stops, there are 4 altogether at the resort, so you never really have a long way to get to the bus in the morning, or more importantly, to get back to your room at night. Although every once in a while, we purposefully got off the bus at a different bus stop just so we could walk through and see more of the resort. Do you guys do that too? Smack dab in the middle of the resort is Old Man Island, which is the pool area. You've got the main pool there, a fun water slide, and a bar, and a hot tub, and a playground, and the fishing hole. And then all around that area are the buildings with the rooms, and they also have their separate so-called quiet pools. Whether or not the pools stay quiet, The first room we had was in the Magnolia Bend area of the resort, which is a little more sort of open and sprawling, and the buildings look like gigantic old southern mansions. We had a fiasco at check-in, and they said they were gonna upgrade us to a pool view room, and then it turned out to be a handicap accessible room, and maybe I misunderstood what she said, but I don't know if this really counts as a pool view. What do you think? This is our upgraded pool view. Not only that, there was junk all over the floor when we moved in, and I just was so unhappy that the next morning I went to the lobby and asked to be moved to a new room, which wasn't necessarily all that easy. Like I said, watch the first episode of Orlandoventure and you'll see exactly how it all played out. But the second room we got was over in the Alligator Bayou area, and it was so much better. Not only did we like the room better, but just the whole feeling over an Alligator Bayou was more magical to us. It seems kind of woodsy and swampy, and there's little bridges, and especially walking through there at night with all the dimly lit trees and the moss and things like that. It just, yeah, like I said, it seemed magical and also kind of romantic. But I bet you want to see inside the rooms. Take a look at this. It had the double sinks separate from the bathroom and shower area. It had the nice theming all around, and we also had this beautiful corner window with a nice big table to work on and set things up. Just so you know, if you want to book a room at Port Orleans Riverside, this room was a preferred room, so I think they cost a little bit extra and you definitely have to ask for it specifically. But if it's in your budget and there's one available, go for it because it was really nice. Some other things to know, I'm pretty sure every building has a vending machine area, an ice machine, and also laundromats with washers and dryers so you can wash your clothes. And another thing I forgot to mention is one of the major advantages to staying at one of the Port Orleans resorts is you can take a pontoon boat ride from there to downtown Disney Springs, aka downtown Disney. It's a nice alternative to taking the buses or driving, and also, especially at night, the ride there and the ride back is just, it's special and also kind of romantic. But back to the buses, one thing that I was confused about is it seems like some of the buses serve both resorts. And so sometimes we were in a bus on the way back to the resort and it would stop at French Quarter before it would stop at our resort. And sometimes it would stop directly at our resort. And sometimes it would go to our resort first, but not stop at the main bus stop first. It would stop at one of the other bus stops. And I don't understand if there's a system there or like a schedule. It seemed totally random to me. So if you know exactly how that works, please leave it in the comments below because I don't get it. Oh, another benefit is if you're staying at French Quarter, you're allowed to use all the amenities at Riverside and vice versa, and it's a nice walk along the river to get from one to the other, but I think that mostly it's probably an advantage for people from French Quarter to go over to Riverside. The food court's a little bit bigger, the pool and water slide area are bigger, although if you have small kids, I think the pool over at French Quarter is probably better. All in all, like I said, I guess there's a reason that the Port Orleans resorts are some of the most popular resorts on Disney property, but we just prefer, in the moderate category, the Coronado Springs. And I would much rather stay at Coronado Springs again than at Port Orleans Riverside. But hey, I would much rather stay at Port Orleans Riverside again than like the Travelodge in London Waterloo. A bad day at Disney is always better than a good day at home, right? I've got some more cruise videos coming this year. I've also got more Disney videos coming. Oh, and before I forget, my friend Chris was at Tokyo DisneySea recently, and he posted a video of it. And if you're a fan of Disney and aren't informed about how awesome Tokyo DisneySea is, then you have to go watch his video because it's gonna make you wanna go there, I promise. And I'm starting to think that maybe that's gonna be in the plans for 2016. The link is in the description below. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I'll see you next week with another fun travel-related video. See you later.